Okay, we are going to be solving radical equations. We're going to be solving for an unknown variable, like say in this situation, we're going to be solving for x. So if we have 3x to the 3/4 power is equal to 192, and note that x is the only thing raised to the 3/4 power, because if 3 was also raised to it, it would be in parentheses with the 3/4 outside of it. But in this case, x is the only thing to the 3/4 power. So first off, we need to try to get x by itself. Well, first step, divide by 3 and divide by 3, which leaves us x to the 3/4 power is equal to 64. And now our whole goal is to get to this. X is equal to something. X, remember, x to the first power is equal to something. Well, using your properties of exponents here, what power can I put outside of here? Because if I have, for instance, if I have x squared raised to the third power, that is x to the sixth. You multiply those two numbers to get 6. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to try to multiply these two numbers to get 1. So if we have x to the 3/4 power, what can we multiply it by to get a 1? It's pretty simple. You multiply it by its reciprocal. Now remember, if you, I think I said you multiply by the reciprocal, you actually, you raise it to its reciprocal, which, using the properties, you multiply there. And if you raise the left side to the 4/3 power, you have to raise the right side to the 4/3 power. And so on the left side we have x, and on the right side I'm not sure what we're going to have. Remember, 3's on the bottom, so we can think of it as a cube root. And this 4 is the power. The number on top of the fraction would be the power. So now what are we looking at here? 64 to the 4th power. I don't know what 64 to the 4th power is. But I do know that I could also write it like this. And writing it like that helps out a lot more, because what is the cube root of 64? The cube root, wow, the cube root of 64 is 4. And so if we have 4 to the 4th power, 4 to the 4th power is 256. So x would be equal to 256. So it requires you to use a little bit of the stuff that you've learned in the past to solve this one out. Okay, let's look at this problem here. Problem here. Well, x is underneath the cube root. You got an 8, a 3, and a -5 with it. So first step to get it by itself would be to get rid of that -5. Add 5 to both sides. That leaves us with a cube root of 8x plus 3, which is equal to 3. Now, what's the opposite of the cube root? Would be to cube a number. And so these cancel out, leaving us with 8x plus 3 is equal to 27. And I'm almost certain from here that you can go ahead and solve it out. 8x, you subtract 3 from both sides. 8x is equal to 24. Divide by 8. X is equal to 3. And you are moving right along on this one. Getting some good stuff here. Um, well, if you look on both sides, we have cube roots, which is helpful. We are not adding anything to either one of the cube roots. We are multiplying the one on the right by 2, but okay. So this basically just says, well, I want to cube everything on the left side because that'll leave me 2x plus 4. Now remember, if I cube everything on the left side, everything on the right side has to be cubed. And this 3 comes in with the 2, and then this 3 comes in with the cube root. So 2 cubed is 8, and then cube root and cubed cancel each other out. So we have 8, and then 3 minus x. Since this is multiplication here, this is multiplication also. And so from there, it's just basically solving out your algebra problem. 24 minus 8x after you distribute 8 to everything inside. And then let's just go ahead and solve. Add 8x to both sides, giving us 10x. Subtract 4 from both sides, giving us 20. And we know x is then equal to 2. And so from there, that's it. You plug your solution back in and check it. You are supposed to make sure you check those solutions to make sure that they do work, to make sure that they do match up. Let me show you this one right here. We're going to go x minus 4 is equal to the square root of 2x. So ideally you're thinking, I want to get rid of that radical, I want to get rid of the square root, so we square. We have to square both sides. So those cancel, leaving us with 2x. And now if we have x minus 4 squared, that's x minus 4 times x minus 4, which then is x squared minus 8x plus 16 after you multiply those binomials. In order to solve this, we have to get it set equal to 0. So subtract this 2x from both sides. So we have x squared minus 10x plus 16 is equal to 0. And so from here, can you give me two numbers that multiply to give you 16, that add up to give you negative 10, negative 2, and negative 8? We'll do that. And in this case, x is equal to positive 2, and x is also equal to 8 in the right parentheses in order to make the equation true. So now, this is the part where you have to plug in those numbers and check them into the original equation that we started off with, which was x minus 4 is equal to the square root of 2x. So let's plug 8 in there. Let's plug 8 in there. 8 minus 4, is it equal to the square root of 2 times 8? 2 times 8 is 16. 8 minus 4 is 4. So does 4 equal 4? Yes, it does. So we know 8 is the solution. And now let's plug in 2. 2 minus 4, is that equal to square root of 2 times 2? Well, on the right side, you have 2 times 2, which is 4. And on the left side, you have 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. So is negative 2 equal to, the square root of 4 is 2. Is negative 2 equal to 2? No. No, it's not. So then 2 is not a solution. We call 2 an extraneous solution. It's a solution that's not going to work into the original equation. So your final answer, x is equal to 8. Sometimes you have extraneous solutions and sometimes you don't. So that's why I informed you that you have to plug them back in and check them. Alright, I'd like you to try this one on your own. You can hit pause and then hit play when you're finished and check your solution with mine. Alright, I divided both sides by 5 to get 8. I'm going to raise both sides to the 2/3 power, which then will leave me with x. And I know that if I think of it like this, if I think of it as the cube root of 8 squared, well, the cube root of 8 is 2, and then we have 2 squared. X is equal to 4. And so, there you go. Plug your solution back in and check it. I've just done that in my head, so I know that it works. And this last one, let's see what you can do here. I'm going to square both sides, giving me 7x minus 8 is equal to 5x. Subtract 5x from both sides and add 8 to both sides, and x is equal to 4. If I plug that in, I get 28 minus 8, which is the square root of 20, and is that equal to the square root of 20? Yes, it is. So, x equals 4 is the solution. Alrighty, we've come to the conclusion of this video on solving radical equations. I will see you around and answer any questions you may have.